May 2016, Coronado, California. A 21-year-old SEAL trainee enters a training pool. Within minutes, he slips beneath the surface. Safety divers pull him out. He is pronounced dead at the hospital, not in combat. In a swimming pool, surrounded by instructors, he was the 5th trainee in 4 months to black out in that same pool. This video ranks 7 military programs where water is the test, the one that breaks you or decides if you deserve to continue. One program graduates fewer than 12 men a year out of 600. Another has killed at least 8 trainees. And the number 1 entry has a fact so disturbing most people refuse to believe it. Number 7. South Korea. At SEAL selection, South Korea runs its own version of the Navy SEALs. Their Hell Week lasts 132 hours. Completion rate sits between 30 and 40%, but the water phase has something the Americans do not use. Instructors physically fight candidates underwater. No drills, no structure. A combat diver grabs you, holds you under, and watches. Your job is to not panic while a stronger man keeps you below the surface with your lungs empty. Candidates also complete a 5-mile ocean swim and a 50-meter underwater swim without surfacing. In every other program on this list, water is the enemy. Here, the enemy is a man who will not let you breathe. Now imagine taking men who were never trained in water and throwing them into the ocean in full combat gear. Number 6. United States Marine Corps Recon Water Phase. Every other program on this list selects men who volunteered for water. Recon does not. These are infantrymen, trained to fight on dirt, and one day they are told to survive the ocean or go back to the regular infantry. They face open water swims, underwater not tying, and treading in full gear. Dropout rate across the Recon pipeline sits between 50 and 60%. A large portion of that is the water phase. For a man who has never trained underwater, that first submersion, throat closing, salt water flooding in, 60 pounds dragging him down, is as close to real drowning as training gets. The next program makes this look easy, because the water there is cold enough to shut your body down in minutes. Number 5. Denmark. The Frogman Corps. Almost nobody outside Scandinavia has heard of this unit. Every year, 500 to 600 men apply. Fewer than 12 finish. Since 1957, only 311 men have ever earned the Frogman title, roughly 5 per year across 6 decades. The course runs 9 months. Candidates perform long-duration dives, deep water dives, and weighted swims in freezing Danish waters with near zero visibility. They dive wearing lead belts weighing 2 to 4 kilograms in conditions where a single moment of panic can end everything. And here is a detail no other unit in the world can match. King Frederik X of Denmark passed this selection. A sitting monarch earned the same badge that eliminates 98% of candidates. But the next entry comes from a country where water defines every mission for the rest of your career. Number 4. United Kingdom. Special Boat Service. Swimmer Canoeist Course. Most people know the SAS. Almost nobody knows the unit beside them. To even start the SBS Swimmer Canoeist course, you must first pass full United Kingdom Special Forces selection. Pass rate for that alone is under 10%, but that beret only gets you to the starting line. SBS candidates then enter weeks of combat diving in freezing waters, open ocean, half-frozen lakes, tidal channels at night with zero visibility. They use closed-circuit systems that leave no bubbles on the surface, no trace, no sound. Every man who enters has already proven he is among the toughest soldiers in Britain. The water still breaks most of them. Which of these would you survive? Drop it in the comments. Now, the next program eliminates more candidates than SEAL training, and the thing that breaks them is a pool at 2 in the morning. Number 3. United States Air Force Pararescue. Water confidence. PJ indoctrination eliminates approximately 80% of candidates. SEAL training eliminates roughly 75. PJ training washes out more men than buds. The thing that breaks them is the pool. They call it WaterCon. Underwater laps without surfacing. Not tying at the bottom. Stripping and reassembling scuba gear while submerged. Bobbing with wrists and ankles bound. When the Air Force studied which test best predicted success as a PJ, officers rated WaterCon above running, above rucking, above everything. A man can fake a long run. He cannot fake composure with empty lungs 10 feet underwater. In 2020, a special tactics trainee died from drowning during training. The number 2 spot is darker. At least 8 men have died since it began. Number 2. United States Army Combat Diver Qualification Course. Key West. This is where Green Berets, Rangers, and Select Commandos become combat divers. Since 1969, at least 8 trainees have died, confirmed by the Special Warfare Center. The most feared phase is Pool Week. Candidates do crossover drills and equipment recovery while instructors sabotage their gear at depth. Your brain has circuits that warn you that you are dying and trigger panic. CDQC teaches you to shut them down. Staff Sergeant Michael Walker, a Green Beret medic, died during a pool exercise here in July 2021. He was 31. He left a wife and 3 children. 2 months later, Staff Sergeant Paul Olmsted died during a pre-selection swim. 2 Green Berets, 2 water events, 3 months apart. Every man in one graduating class who failed quit during pool week. Not the runs, not the ocean, the pool. And now, Number 1. United States Navy SEAL Buds. Drownproofing, pool competency, and dive phase. Number 1 because no other pipeline puts candidates through this much water, across this many phases, for this long. It starts with drownproofing, hands tied, feet bound, 9-foot pool, bob 20 times, float 5 minutes, swim 100 meters, retrieve an object from the bottom with your teeth, all while tied up. Then Hell Week, 5.5 days, roughly 4 hours of total sleep, much of it in the Pacific at 14 degrees Celsius. Documented cases show recruits developing fluid in the lungs after just 20 minutes of treading in water that cold. Then dive phase, pool competency. Instructors rip regulators out, flood masks, tie hoses and knots, cut your air. You sit at the bottom and fix it calmly or you fail. In 2016, 5 trainees blacked out in pool exercises in 4 months. Records showed 3 trainees died during the last 4 training classes. And here's what most people refuse to believe. The men who passed were not the strongest swimmers. They were the calmest. Composure under the threat of drowning, not athletic ability, is the single greatest predictor of who survives. Not one drill, not one phase, an unbroken chain of water stretching across months with no reset. 7 programs. 1 truth. Water triggers the oldest fear in the human brain, the terror of not being able to breathe, and then demands you think clearly anyway. Every man who passed faced the same moment. Lungs burning, vision fading, every cell screaming to surface, and he chose to stay calm when calm was impossible. If this was worth your time, subscribe for more. Which of these 7 would you attempt? And which one would break you? And if you want to know which Special Forces units hold the highest confirmed kill counts in history, that story is next. Water is only one way military training breaks people. In the next video, I rank the 7 toughest programs in the world by failure rate, and the biggest name on the list doesn't even make number 1. Click on your screen.